Hello, this is a impromptu cast. I know I probably won't have many viewers at all while I'm doing this, but why the hell not? So without much ado, let's get into these stories that I want to talk about. This first one is an op-ed piece from someone on IGN. I mean, let's keep it real. IGN, or as I like to call it, IGN ignorant, is special. So let's read this article, and then I'll give you my take on it. This is an opinion piece from someone. Doesn't say who. By Vince Ingenito. I don't know who that is, but if he's trying to play off Ingenious, it's not going to work. So Street Fighter V's one-year anniversary is coming up in a little more than a week, and with reports of soft sales coming out of Capcom's Q3 earnings last week, combined with the fact that many pro players have vocally voiced frustration with its current state of balance, there's a question on some people's lips. Is Street Fighter V in trouble? Well, here's my answer. No, it's not. Not even close. Put your shovels back in the shed because there's no grave to dig here. Let's start with the facts. Through the end of March 2016, that's 6 weeks from launch, Capcom shipped 1.4 million copies of Street Fighter V to retailers. Last week, their updated million sellers page listed it at 1.5 million. Some fast math would indicate that Street Fighter V has only sold an additional 100,000 units since its launch window. But that's a shaky conclusion at best. We don't know how much of that initial allotment of 1.4 actually made it to the hands of consumers. So any attempts to spot trends is a wild guess at this point. So many would argue that those numbers are low, and while they are, that isn't exactly an indicator of flagging interest or an unhealthy game. Comparatively, 2009 Street Fighter IV has sold 3.9 million units worldwide, which sounds much more impressive, but 4 came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, not to mention that the fact that it released to an audience that had been starved for Street Fighter for a decade or longer. While Street Fighter III was a beast of a competitive game, casual players mostly ignored it, a fact that has at least something to do with the limited console availability. Anyway, the point is that Street Fighter IV released to a much larger, far more ravenous audience. So its sales lead isn't really a useful predictor of Street Fighter V's future in terms of player interest. Regardless of the factors involved, though, aren't low sales numbers a measure of how financially successful the game will ultimately be? Maybe in 2009 it was, but we are now fully in the midst of the age as of the game as service era. And Street Fighter V is, at least among console games, uniquely dialed into this idea. New characters have come at a steady pace since launch, and with the latest one set to hit by the end of March, you have the option to earn them for free or buy them outright, buy them outright. A best of both worlds compromise that in the long run will likely lead to a steadier, more cost-effective source of revenue than trying to produce and sell a box product once a year. Street Fighter V is losing the sprint, but Capcom has been on the marathon, and considering that Street Fighter IV and its revisions enjoyed an unprecedented 7-year run at the Evolution Championship Series EVO, I say that's a smart bet. Speaking of Street Fighter of EVO, Street Fighter V broke single game registration records at EVO 2016, matching the totals of the second and third most registered games combined. It's easily the most well-funded, widely matched competitive fighting game, with Sony and Capcom funneling large amounts of money into the annual Capcom Pro Tour, which has seen growth year on year since it began in 2014. Sure, you've got pros on social media expressing concerns over the improved but still present input lag, as well as some of the admittedly extreme balance changes that came with Street Fighter II Season 2 update. But at the end of the day, history shows that top competitors keep playing as long as there's money to be made. As long as the best of the best are playing, people will watch, which means more ad revenue and game sales for Capcom. Okay, we're at the end of this. EVO 2017 will be an ultimate barometer for Street Fighter V's future. If registration numbers fall precipitously in the face of newer games like King of Fighters 15, Tekken 7, Injustice 2, and Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, then that will be the first sign that the ship is taking on water. That's an incredibly strong lineup of fresh contenders, though, and if it continues to grow in the face of that much competition, then you can bet that Street Fighter V is going to be around for quite a long time. Okay, then, and here we have a Street Fighter V you can get for $20. Yeah, $20 goddamn dollars. So what does this mean? Well, I'll give you my take. First of all, this dude, I don't know how much Sony paid him to blow them, but I hope it was worth it. Essentially speaking, he's made a few mistakes in his era. Street Fighter 4 sold 3.9 million worldwide. Well, we know that 1 million of that is sold on the 3DS. So let's just say 1 million was sold on the 3DS. Let's round that up to 4 million. So basically, Street Fighter 4 on an install base of 100 and at this point, let's say the PS3 sold 80 million, Xbox 360 sold 60 million. The 3DS has sold to date 65 million on an install base of, if you combine those numbers, let's say almost 200 million. Okay, a little over 200 million. Has managed to sell to roughly 2% of a 200 million install base. That's not very good. Not with the numerous iterations and all that shit. So let's dial it down a notch. Street Fighter just doesn't have the panache that it once did because there's other things that jive with people. Second of all, is Street Fighter V dead? Well, considering that it was outsold by Pokken Tournament for a bit, yes, it is dead. And if you don't believe me, there's something wrong with you. And them releasing Akuma or whatever other characters is not going to help. And if I hear anyone saying, "Oh, well, you know, they had to release it early for Evo," that's bullshit. And I'll tell you why it's bullshit. Because the people who buy the money in the video game industry is in software. The people who are buying most video games, even if the games that are played competitively, are not people who play it competitively because they're a very small minority. It's the people it's the casuals. And if casual people aren't buying your game, that's a problem. So this article can be taken and shoved up the ass of who Vince Ingenito, because he clearly doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Vince. Yeah. Vince doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Which brings me to the second bit of news to wash our palate of the bullshit that was that PR media spin blowjob for Capcom and indirectly Sony is Netflix announces an animated Castlevania series. So I mean, I guess that's cool. And it's about the last surviving member of the disgraced Belmont clan trying to save Eastern Europe from extinction at the hand of Vlad Dracula Tepish himself. It's being produced by Warren Ellis, Kevin Kolb, Fred Seabart, and Adi Shankar. I don't know who the hell that is. Who has produced The Grey, terrible movie, Dread, pretty good, a series of bootleg short films, including the 2015 Power Rangers short film. Warren Ellis is also on board as writer of the series, while Fred Seabart's Frederator Studios is behind the animation, according to Netflix. Oh, well, it'll probably be done pretty well. Looking forward to it. It's been a while since we've seen any type of Castlevania, anything really. And anything will be better than Captain N and the Game Masters, Simon Belmont, who I swear was just looked ridiculous. Our next story, someone spent $1,000 on Fire Emblem Heroes. Why, I have no idea, but they did. That's it. Just So here's one of the big stories, which is E3 tickets on sale to the public this year. Ticket costs $150 or $149 or $249 for 3 days. For the first time in its history, E3 will be open to anyone who buys a ticket to the annual video game show. Starting on February 13th, the Entertainment Software Association will open sales on 15,000 tickets to consumers. The first of these 1,000 tickets will sell for $149 each. The rest will sell for $249. All tickets are for all 3 days of the show and grant the owner full access to the show floor. The tickets will go on sale on E3's official website. There's also discussion with the Game Awards host and producer Jeff Keighley about having gamer events and discussion at LA Live as part of the event. The show will still have a central media and business component. ESA officials say that business pass owners will still have special benefits, including a dedicated entrance and a VIP business lounge. ESA officials said they are encouraging leading streamers and Twitch folks to register as media this year. As you can see, E3, the height of E3's attendance was in 2005. And then 2006 was a little dip. And then 2007 was when shit got, this is when they closed it off to everybody. This is when it was closed off to everyone except a few media outlets. As you can see, shit got bad this year. Then it went up in 2009. This is when they started opening up to fake-ass media people who basically would go there, you know, shit like that, like YouTubers and shit like that. And as you can see, it's basically kind of stayed steady around between 45 and 50,000. This is not the sign of a healthy industry growth. This is basically holding steady. So yeah, E3 is a business, and they're trying to. But here's the problem. Okay, some of the biggest people in E3 aren't having events at E3. They're doing other shit. So yeah. It's not smart business. It really isn't. But yeah, here's a nice little graph for you. As you can see, these are the years. These are the numbers. And the little circle jerk, electronic exposition expo. Sorry, electronic entertainment expo. Here you go. It's not as good as you might think. So if anyone ever tells you that E3 is a big deal, it isn't. It isn't. The average consumer doesn't give a shit about E3. Now, if something's on the Ellen DeGeneres show or, you know, Good Morning America, man, it's kind of important. E3, irrelevant. It's been irrelevant for years. Next, here's a little bit of news that made me kind of smile. Kate McKinnon is going to be playing Miss Frizzle in a revamp of The Magic School Bus, which was an awesome show back in the day. Talked about science. But yeah, they're bringing it back. So that's it. If you want to watch all four original seasons of The Magic School Bus, they're on Netflix right now. Let's see. Any other news? Oh yeah, here's some news for you. Here's some news for your ass right here. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe producer on where Switch's extra power came into play and improved gyro controls DLC possibilities. Kosuke Yabuki worked on both ARMS and Mario Kart 8 DX simultaneously. Yabuki was very excited to make this version for the Switch, wanted to deliver a Mario Kart game immediately and not start from scratch. Nintendo EPD used the extra power for 1080p, 60 frames per second on TV mode. See, they found that missing frame. Yabuki says the extra RAM allowed his team to experiment with holding multiple items at once. All 12 characters can hold 2 items at a time. Consulted with Nogami for the Splatoon stage and characters. Lots of strategy can be used in battle mode. gyro controls improved. Doesn't completely shut down the idea of future DLC, but he says the game already has so much content. Now, here's the thing. I know some people are going to buy this game, but here's what I got to say. Fuck this game. This content should have been on the Wii U version of the title. And yes, I would have paid for a season pass or DLC. So you know what? Fuck this game. And finally, I will be going to Nintendo's hands-on event. And I know in this thing it says I've got 3 hours of hands-on time with the Switch. Actually, it's from 1 to 4:30 Friday, so it's 3.5. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can click on the link in the discussion area, the Discus discussion area for Mr. Red Fox Q&A for BS Busters. And you can find I've got 3 hours of hands-on time with the Switch, and leave a question in the discussion area. So look forward to that. And that's it. I just wanted to give you that little bit of information. And rate, comment, share, all that fun shit. That's it. Just wanted to give you that little bit of information. So good day.